in an amazing, loving home with really fantastic parents. I didn't grow up in the Catholic Church or in any church really, but I went to Catholic school. When I was in grade 8, my world kind of stopped. I was diagnosed with something called Guillain-Barré syndrome, so I'd lost all of the nerve function in my legs and in my arms. And so, as you can imagine, school was rough, trying to figure out how to move, how to compensate for not having feeling in my legs, wheelchairs and walkers, and just really inhibited movement for a long time. My friends didn't understand, and so a lot of my friends stopped talking to me. And so all of a sudden, I was alone, I was sad, I was scared, but I wasn't alone, and I could always feel that and didn't really understand it. I was starting into a new high school, the Catholic high school. It had just been built, it was brand new. And I had recently started talking to a friend who I'd sat next to on the bus in grade 8. And he invited me to come to church with him and then to join him at the youth group at our parish. And so he was the first hand of God I think I really felt in my life. I walked into the church the first time and felt an astounding sense of peace and of calm. And I went to youth group with him a few times, and he kept talking to me, and I felt less lonely, and I felt a little bit more okay. And then I started to do worse again. My health declined. We had other personal issues come up at home, and I was really scared. And my friend brought me to the youth minister at the time at this parish, who at that stage of my life saved my life. He opened a dialogue with my parents that I hadn't had for a really long time. He engaged me in youth ministry there and in sharing my experience in learning more about my faith with other students at that school and at the middle school, and really opened me up to the idea that maybe I wasn't alone because I was walking with Jesus. And I started helping run retreats for the middle schoolers, talking to them about God and about Jesus and about faith and mercy and the love of God. And I kept coming to church, but always kind of felt like I was on the edge of the community, like I wasn't fully a part of it because I wasn't Catholic and I still had a lot to learn. And so the fall of my grade 11 year, the chaplain at our school asked me if I wanted to be confirmed into the Catholic Church. He was running a program for the first time that year, and thought that I would be a good fit. And none of my family was Catholic, and that wasn't a really big part of our life. But it was a huge part of my life, and it was very quickly becoming the center of my life, my faith, my relationship with God, learning how to pray, learning more about the Bible, spending as much time as I could in the chapel at our school or in the church. Then this friend of mine showed me that women could find such strength and power in God, and that they could free us from any hurt, any abuse, any pain, any loneliness that we had been feeling. And a few months later, she stood in this church with me with her hand on my shoulder as my sponsor, as I was confirmed into the church. And it was the best day of my life. My parents, who had struggled a little bit, both came, which was incredible and showed me that regardless of our differences, that they loved me and that they were willing to accept Jesus in their lives, at least a little bit in that moment, and have continued to do so.
And I'm pleased to offer my prayerful support and blessings for Shalom World Media, and for all of those that support it, for all of those that work in this beautiful ministry of bringing Christ into our lives. So may the blessings of the All-Holy Trinity be upon you, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, now and forever and ever. Amen.
Shalom World, God's own channel.